So we are going to make this page. So you could see my logo, header, menu, all of this stuff, a nice heading, small text, CTA, and then counter. So if I refresh this page, you see the counter just pops up like this. There's an image here. Choose like a nice image. I just use like random one. Then we have this feature section, then same small heading, and then text, small heading, text, image, stuff like this. Then quick icon of business that have worked with us. Then we use is our testimonial. Then a contact button, or sorry, not contact button, contact section like this. On hover it does this glow animation and nice effect like this, and a easiest footer. So let's get started. Right now I will just make it here. For example, I think you should know how you can make a header, but I'll use it here right now. You don't use it, you don't make it around here, you make it in the theme builder in the theme section, but it's the same step that I'm going to do right now. So let's add our, also one more thing, if you don't want to start from scratch, simply just go on to my site on this page and you could download the template. And basically if you click on this one and then upload, click on upload like this, you can just like drag and drop around here after extracting the file and it will work. And you can basically just get this without having to start from scratch. So first thing we will do is we will make the header, and I've already opened this page around here, which is already created site, so that I can like just quickly glance over to get like the same details that I've added. So first thing we will do is let's go here. We want an icon here and then this section around here. So we will create a container. Let me check what's the size that I've chosen. 1500. Okay, so let's add 1500 around here. Let's add 2 containers inside it. So one, let's duplicate this one. I'll make both of them full width like this. Go into the main container. Let's call it header by double clicking, and here I'll call this one logo, and then this one is our menu like this. Choose the header, make it go horizontal like this. In this section we will add our logo. Just drag anything that you want. I already have added it, so I'll just use it from here. So I've added here. Next we will add our menu, and let's use this one. And the WordPress menu option would not be available if you don't have Elementor Pro, and for that you will need to use like your theme or some other free plugin which allows you to do this with Elementor. But if you don't have Elementor Pro, you can get it from the description, and that way you can support me. And it's just better to use like one plugin rather than 10 plugins to do like one single stuff. So just support me by buying the plugin from the description, and yeah, thank you. So in this one I'll just make it like this. I had to do some stuff because my other site was just not working, so I used this page, so I have to do again all of the stuff like logo and then menu. Okay, and then in this one I will add is the contact button. So basically a button like this. In this section we will make it like this, make it go right corner, and this button we will basically call contact us, so like this. And if you don't want to start making button every time, you can actually go on my page, and then I have like lots of templates around here, and one of this is the button templates, and basically you can just add it in a page or on your site and then basically copy from that page like this. I also have tutorial on how to make like these buttons. So basically you click on edit with Elementor and then copy this button to whichever your page whichever page you want it to be. You could also like copy it and do like paste from other sites. So if you have a client working, you could just paste from other site and then have one page like this. And I also have a tutorial on how you can make this 3 buttons, and this all are free, so just download and use it. But for this tutorial I'll just work like this. So the first thing is we want the background to be empty, we want this to be black, we want our border radius to be, I guess, 5, and then we will add padding. So let's say, well, first we add border, let's add 1 pixel, and then let's make it like this. Let's add 10 pixels. Actually, let's do like 30 30. Let's do 15 15. Let's see, looks good to me. Like this, you can see. Let's reduce the spacing, so let's make it like, I guess we could add like 10. So 10, and that's good. Let's on hover of this, so when we hover on it, we will make it white. So on when we hover, the text color change to white, the background color should be black, like this. So we get this nice button effect. The next thing we need to do is we need to actually reduce this size to whichever we want. So let's say like 25, and that's perfect, like this. But we can see it is actually going from left corner to right corner, and for that we will need to do is select the main header and then just make it full width, like this. And then to have, let's say, left and right padding, we can basically add it with percentage, or we could add like pixels too. So like this, we get at 50 pixels, and I think that's good for now. I don't remember what font I'm using, so I'm using Open Sans in here. And for this one I'm using, let's make it Open Sans, like this. And then we have also made everything be capital, so like this. Make it, I guess, 16 15. What size am I using around here? So 13, and then so I'm using 13 with, I guess, bolder, more bold. I also need to make this like black, so we got this nice header. If we want to, we can make this one more prominent, like this, so that it is more visible, and do Open Sans around here too, like this. I'm not going to make like every single font correct as this one. I don't, because again this is a tutorial, but it's to make you understand, and not to like just follow step by step of what I do. Like, you shouldn't just copy that. If I've used 13 pixels here, you shouldn't just use 13 pixels in your site. You just have to like understand that this is where we change the pixels, and then choose whichever works for you. So this is how it's looking. So the next thing is we need to add this 1 and 2 sections. So we will choose is double section like this, and you could see, so for this one is where I have opened it, there's like 2 way I have done it. So if I go on my container, which is this one, I've added 1 left section, 1 right section, and then in that I've added image, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So let me make this like 1500 pixels, and first I'll do like the image. So I'll go here and then choose that image. Just select your image and click select, and we got an image here. We want it to be like full screen, so we want this section to be perfectly at the bottom always. So we'll select here, and then in minimum height we will select VH, which is viewport height, and we will make it 100%. So basically, if I make this section go at the top, it will perfectly be at the bottom, and like this. Okay, we didn't have to add it inside this one, so let me just type like hero, and then I'll make this like left and then right. So left and then right. We actually have to use the hero section from here in our main container, and then here we have to actually choose the image. And the reason for that is, so right now you can see it is like full. So the reason is because the way we are making it is different. So let me show you. So the first thing I'll do is make it like contain. So you could see it is now showing two times. So I want it to be not repetitive. So now it's not repeating. I'll do is center top right, or not top center, sorry, not center but top right basically. and you have to make sure that the image is like long and nicely, or else when someone changes the size it would just like make it be like this much or something. And here we can actually now do custom, and now we can actually choose however we want. So if you add like small image it would look like this, so we don't want it to happen. So now we can basically just make it like, let's say I want it to be like 50%. What I have done here, let's see. So in this one I have added that to 40% like this, and then made it top right like this. And basically everything depends on the image, so make sure you edit the image in a way that it actually fits it nicely. Now what we are going to do is we are actually going to add our heading like this, and right now we have made it to 50%, but we want this to be like 40% like this. See, it is not like completely going outside, and in this one it is not also completely going outside, but it is still working for my site like this. So it's totally okay. But if you want to have it at the end, you can also make it like contain, but then you cannot choose like how many percentage you want it to be on the right side, which is why I do custom. Next we will do is we will add our heading, which is versatile solution for your business like this. Make this open sans, or is it monster rat? I don't okay, it's monster rat 58 pixels, so I'll make it monster rat 58 pixels like this. 58, 61 line height, weight 700. So basically weight 700, line height was like 68, right? 61. And basically you don't need to copy like the same value, you just have to like move around and then check which one works the best. I'm just using it because again I don't want to like go into depth right now. I just want to showcase the features, or not features, but how it's made. Now in here for temporary we can actually make it be at the center like this, and in this we will actually have this color. So you could see, I'll copy this one. You could choose any color and you could just type like hex color on Google, and you can also find the hex value. So if I, let's say, paste it here, you could see this is the one that we are using, and this is what we are going to type. So like font color equal to this one, and then close bracket like this. So what it does is, if I do it around here, it basically makes it that color. So instead of having one single color for everything, we actually want it to be different colors. And make sure you select the right keywords and not like random keywords. Right now if you see solution success, so that's like a good keyword for the business, or at least highlighted. And to end it, to like, right now we don't want it to be like full, right? So what we type is, we type slash font like this to wherever we want it to end. So you can see it ended, and then we will copy this again and then add it in success like this, and then copy and paste it, so that we know that, so that the Elementor knows that this is where it should stop. I'll make this H1. This is for SEO. Next thing, we will add a text editor like this, and I'll copy this again. So now one thing you're seeing with the issue, that I actually made the monster rat, the heading with monster rat, and then the paragraph with hind. So basically I created this page first, then I just copy pasted this header from my other site, which is why these are like in open sans. So it's just good to use like 2 fonts, not more than 2. Rarely you would use like more than 2, but if you want to, you can do it still. But basically you can see that here it would be different font, or not, this would, it's better to use like same font, and I just copy pasted this header from other site, which is why this is not the same font. So what I'll do is I will actually type and use the font hint like this, and then I've used 18 pixel and 29 line height, so like this, and it looks same right now. And then let's say if you don't want it to be like at till this end, what you can do is you can go into advanced, go into custom, and then choose how big you want this to be so that it ends like before this text. I'll keep it full for now because I don't mind. Next is our call to action buttons. Basically the same thing that we did, but before that, well, I'll show this first then. So same thing how we made this header, this button, we are basically just choosing different color around here. So same thing we will do is we will add a white text color and then transparent background color. Sorry, not transparent, like this. And then we will add a border, and then what we need to do is, so you can see there's like a border added. It's not visible much. If I do 5, you can see it, but basically we are adding same color border so that when we hover on it, we can make the background color go like this and then text color go black, or actually this color, so that we get this nice effect. And make sure you like do and play with like this padding and all like we did it here. I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this one and paste it in my site. So that we can quickly go in this tutorial. But now if I let's say duplicate it, it is showing here, but I want it to be on the right side. We can basically do is add another container inside this. Let's make the padding 0, because if you don't do it and if I add it, you could see that there is like some spacing around here by default. So make it 0. Let's delete this, duplicate this one inside this container, and then make it go from left to right. And we are going to do the same thing that we did, but there's one difference. So if I type learn more, and we want this one to be in more focus, which is why I've created this button like not much focusable. Let's add arrow, bam bam bam, fast, we will go fast in this tutorial. And then learn more and make the color to be black, well, not this one, text color to be black like this. We don't want anything, we don't want this thing too. So now we got this stuff like this, and basically if I make the padding to be like this, it will just remove the left padding, and I'll make this to be centered like this. And obviously you can change it by multiple ways, so you could make it different distance like this, or you can also make it different distance padding, like padding in here, or you could basically just add padding in here like this, or margin in here. So there's multiple way to like change the distance between these two buttons. I'm keeping it default, but I would like this one to still have one effect, so I'll go into transform in the on hover state, so that when we hover on it, I'll add an offset of I guess 10 pixels in x-axis, so it goes towards right. If I want it to go left, I'll do -10 and it will go towards left. So for this one, I'll keep like 10, and see, it looks nice. What did I do next? I added this stuff, and the way I added is I use this counter widget. So let me add another container below this one, and I'll do is add a counter widget, which is like this. And the way the counter widget works is this is a starting number, so if I do like 50, it will start from 50. So let's keep it like default, 100 right now. Prefix is what you want to show before, so if I add dollar or hashtag like or dollar, it will show before, or if I want to show after thing, that is suffix, so anything I type here would be shown after. You could also do like both. So I'll just add plus, and then animation duration, how much time it should take to go from 0 to 100, and that's 2 seconds right now. 1000 separator, basically if the image was like this one was like this, you could choose to have this one or no. If you remove that, it will not have that 1000 separator. You could choose which separator you want. So let's just add title like satisfied business, something like this. Basically change the color of the number. We can make this one go monster rat. We can make it go, let's say, normal like this. And then the title color also black. We will make this, let's say, 16 pixels, monster rat. If you're making a website, make sure to do like this, use this global option. There are enough tutorials to explain how this global option works. It will just speed up your process so that you don't have to type this again and again. I'm not adding a global styling because this is my actual site. My test site version was like, I don't know, it was like lagging for a bit for some reason, which is why I just decided to create this in my actual site. And basically you can see I can just duplicate and then duplicate, select on this container, make it go from left to right. And in this one you could see I actually have these lines like this. So for that I'll do is I'll make it go space between, actually space around, so that one would be at the first and another would be at the right. I'll remove the padding. So you could see one is on the left side, one is on the right side, and then it will just decide, and anything between this will be like equally spaced. If we choose like this one, space around, by default it is on start. You could also make it on end, and space around would be basically make anything between this equally spaced. I think it is this one, by the way, space between. I'm not sure, but just test around which one works. Right now we will add padding of, I guess, right 10 pixels, and then I'll add a border around here of solid. Just click on it so that it is removed, and then type like 1 so that there's like a line on the right side. And here we can choose like a light color like this. Basically let's delete all of the stuff and then duplicate, duplicate, and then duplicate. You could see how this works. And basically we will remove this border from the right side on this end one, so we have this effect. And make sure when we make it responsive, well, I'm going to show you how we make it responsive too, so I'll just show it that time. And make sure you change everything and then text color to whatever you want. And right now I will just again copy paste it from my other side so that I don't have to like work again and again. So you see I've already done that. And then basically I think I did is I went into this thing, and then in transform I just added, you see I just added a offset of this stuff like this. I think it looks good. It looks same too. So like this. The issue now we are seeing is that our header is taking space, and then this is starting from like this section and then ending around here. So what we can do is in our header we are going to make it like 100 pixels so that we know it is only 100 pixels. And here we will add is a negative bottom margin of 100 pixels. So now we can actually have like this. So you're seeing this. So if we want to have, let's say, our header on top of this, where did my button go? So okay, let's just add z index so that it is on top, and then we can make it like this. We are seeing like some issues on top, right? That empty space, and that is coming from our header, I believe. Yup, it is coming from our header. we can basically just make it a bit pixels above. You don't have to make like everything 1 pixels, nobody's going to know. So you can just remove it, and then make sure you change the color here accordingly, like this, and then make this white like this too. Or you can do is, for this one I'm actually going to not do that, I'm actually going to style and then make this background be white. Why did it not change? So if I click here and then add our header to have white color, what I'm going to do is make sure this one has like higher z index, because then I think it was just the container was being placed behind everything. So I'll just add like 999, and then we can just see that we now have a header which is like on top of it, and then we have like perfectly created this section which is like 100 pixels, or sorry, 100 wave height. We have basically just added some spacing below this and then pulled everything above like this, and now we got this styling same as our this page. So let's create our next section. So let's go and click here, make this 1500. Let's add a container inside. Let's make this full width. Let's make this, I believe I have made this one as 25%, because again 25%, because it is like 1/4 of everything, like this, 1/4 of like this whole section. But you can see that it is working, but if I enable wrap it will not. But for this tutorial I will not explain this stuff, at least for now. So let's still, I'll tell you guys, if you enable wrap, what it does is basically it like checks for this container and then sees that okay, I have 25% on this side in this like section. Then the second one checks that okay, I have 25% spacing, okay, I have 25% because we have selected here. And this one then checks and it's like okay, I don't have 25%. But you would be confused like why don't we have like 25%, because it's like perfectly 1/4. Because normally when we go into our main container, we add like we have like gaps around this, so there's always gap between this stuff. So if I make it 0, we will actually have spacing between this one. Oh sorry, it will automatically be placed like this, but there would be no spacing between them. So to fix it, what you can do is, this is only for when you're using wrap, unless you don't have to do it. What you could do is you could just basically just change like 1 pixels from like everything and try to figure out like which one works the best. So you could see 24 just worked. That is when we enable wrap. But for this one I'll just show you guys without wrap, and then we will make the gap to be default. So right now I have to use this color. So the first one is having no colors. Okay, so what I'll do is go into style, go into border, and then go into solid, and then let's add a border. And you could see we have added a border, not much visible because there's no content. And then let's add, let's say 25. How much have I added? How much border I have added? I have added only 5. So basically you could see here we will make it 5, or maybe we should add content inside it, because then we will understand it better. I'll make it go center. Let's add efficient workflow, and then this stuff. So let's copy this section, paste it here, then copy the text, go here, paste it, and then basically I'll make this go align in the center. And remember that sometimes when you copy inside this visual editor, it might copy the styling too sometimes. So you could go into text editor. This is like HTML text editor. For example, if you copy from ChatGPT, sometimes it would have like bold and all automatically added, or some font automatically added. So when you copy it in visual editor, it usually does that. But if you don't want to, you could go into text editor, and this is basically like the HTML editor. Or you could do is go into your notepad and then like paste it there, and then copy it again and then paste it in the visual builder, and that is also going to work. That's only like required if like when you're copying and pasting, and like it is also copying the styling from the other site which you have copied from. Next we will do is, let's quickly add our monster at 700 size 39. Make this, I guess, black for now. Let's do, well, I can just do is copy and then paste style, and then we just basically need to make it like 39. What was it? 29, 36. So 29 and then 36, and then this is like 700, so that is perfect. Let's make it come in center like this, and we got this ready. We already have this one set. Basically let's make it like a bit smaller. I think that would look better. Okay, 17 looks good. Let's add icon. Quickly, icon we have used like this hourglass for now. You could use anything, or you could upload your own. If you have Elementor Pro, you could upload your own. If not, you cannot. So if you use Elementor Pro, buy from my link. Okay, let's add a framed with a circle. Let's add the color. So I'll just save it like this so that I have a color ready always. Make sure you add it in like your global editor. So if you add like anything in global editor and paste it, it will show it around here like this, and then you could basically just select it. But also that also allows you to like change every color at once by going into your site editor. But I'm not doing that tutorial right now. You could check like global editing in Elementor. It's very easy. It takes like 5 minutes to learn. So that's one thing we have added. Let's do 20, let's do 30. So let's say we did 40 like this, and then we could do is padding. So padding between this outline and how much we want it to be. If we do 0, it will just basically make it square. Or like if we do 25, it will do it like this. So I'm going to keep it like this. How much padding did I add? So I had added 40, 20, 40, 20. So what I'll do is we will do 40 on top, 40 on bottom, 20 on right and 20 on left, so that there's like nice spacing. So this is how it looks. For some reason this looks thinner than that version, the one that I've created. I don't know why. But basically let's just delete all of the rest ones like this, and let's duplicate. And then in this one, what we need to do is we need to add the background color like this. We need to make the icon to be white. We need to make this be white, and then we need to make this be white, right? Yep. And then basically change the text and icon. And we also forgot to do is in this one we need to do is add a transform, and on hover we can make it like -10. Now okay, for the y-axis, not okay, there we go. But there's also one more thing, that usually when you have something moving on hover, people think that it's a link. So depending on that, I don't know if you should use this on hover or not, or this hover effect or not. Just so decide for yourself, because usually when anything that moves when you move a mouse over, people think that it is clickable. So you could do this for everything like this, and basically copy, let's paste it, and then let's copy and then paste it, and we got like all 4 of us ready here like this. Now let's quickly like work on this sections, because one thing I think I should show you before we proceed. So let me like add some padding too, like 100 on top and 100 at bottom, 20, 20 left, right, like this, so that we have some spacing. So one thing I have to show you guys, that if we go into our mobile version, you can see how ugly it looks. And also, well, let's remove the padding or this margin from this section, And also let's make it go from left. Nope, we want it to be, so this one is set perfectly. So what we need to do is make this one, choose percentage and then make it like smaller, choose percentage and then make it like smaller till it fits, at least for now. Click around here, make it like space between, or we need to remove the padding, totally forgot, like this, and then just choose it to be like this, and then so this one is 46, so we can just make it like 54, something like this. We can make the contact, okay, first in this menu section we will make it be like this, make the button smaller. We can make the button smaller, or what we can do is we can basically just, you know, make it hidden. So if we go into our responsive option, we can make it hidden on mobile so that it looks like this. Make sure you like choose like the right sizing, and then we can make it like really small like this. So, and for this section, which is our main menu, we can do is we can also hide this stuff. So we can also hide this one and create a duplicate, and then create a different menu for our mobile. So we can create extra menu with for mobile, and then basically set it here so that we have the contact button inside this. But you will need to play with some, if you want to show this contact button around here, you will need to play with some like values and all till it like works perfectly. You can also add a contact button below around here if you wish to, rather than keeping it here, but again it's up to your choice. But for now I'll just keep it like this and add like an extra button, and then add like make it like responsive and all. But I'm going to show this landing page because that's what I'm planning to, and not header building and all. So the thing is, we actually want this to be not showing that background image. So we can do is, in this section we will actually just, we can add another background, or what we can do is go into background overlay and then add a white overlay and then make the opacity full. So right now that image is loading, but we are actually just making or adding a background overlay on top of it. And another way you could have done is, instead of adding the image around here, you could basically have added the image around here and then just do the same. The only thing would be that the opacity would be 0 for mobile version and the opacity would be 1 for the full version. But so there's like multiple ways to do it. This is the way I have chosen to do. Next we will select this one and then make it all align in middle, and then we will also make everything like centered, and then make everything, so we can make this one also centered like this. Or what you can also do is, if you want to like showcase it on left and right, you could basically reduce the size of this one by like reducing the padding and all. So you could see, if I reduce the padding of both of this section, it will try to adjust it inside that, and it will look good. And basically it's all simple. We are just changing the value. So wherever we can see this icon, that thing, we can actually make it responsive or have like two different values for mobile and PC. So for example, here we don't see that icon, here we don't see that icon, so it will have like universal for all devices. But here if it says mobile portrait or tablet portrait, you could change the value to have like specific stuff around there. So like this, and you could do stuff, you could remove the padding or add like 10, so that's like good. And then for this one, again what I've done is I basically have like changed this to from like this section to like this section like this. So you can see, rather than doing that, I did this and it works. And then removed the border for everything. So here you can see, instead of having that one border, I just made it 0. You could see we have that icon. So now it looks like this. And again for this sections we will do the same thing. We will make it have, let's say, 10 padding on the right, 10 padding on the left, and then 20 on top and 20 at bottom, like this. Change the text to our liking, make the line height to our liking, like this, and just change the values to make sure that it fits to your aesthetics that you're going for. And that way you would actually make it responsive. It is just changing the value again and again. Right here you could see it looks like this. So what we can do is, around here is make it have wrap, and then make it have some space around, or space between. Well, we have to make it wrap, and then I would remove the border again for this one. So 0, let's copy and paste style for these sections except the last one. This one never had the border, and inside this we will make it space between, or we can make it center. We can make it like this, so this one works too. And basically add some like padding and all from left to right, like this. Or what we can also do is, rather than doing all of that, so let's say if I keep it like this, and what we can do is, it already does not look good just this being like left side. So what we can do is, in our logo, so I'll just hide the header by just clicking this I button, so that we can work with just this, and we are not like, that is not making our focus go away. We will make this 0, and in this section in our header I'll make it go from left to right instead to like top to bottom, and make this one go 100, like this. So we made it go 100. We can make the second section be 100, and there's a reason why. Oops. So we have 100. Again, the same thing that we did for the next for the mobile version. We just add a border like this, but we still want that image to be shown, right? That's why I actually had this extra container around here. Also make sure for our PC version we actually make the opacity go 0, so that we don't have that white color on PC version. And what we will do is, we will add our image like this, and then add that image. So what we are doing is, we are actually adding a image. So if I go here, so we are also adding an image in the background, and we are also adding the image on top like this. In the right section we will basically just hide this image for the PC. So if we go into responsive, we will hide it for PC, and it will show the background image for here. But if we go for tablet, we can actually just show this around here. And then again, in our main hero, rather than doing for VH, we will just make it like empty, so something like this. And the reason is because we don't want it to be like the 100% size for the tablets and mobile. It's only good for like PC. And then in this one we should add some padding on top and left, and let's do like 50-50 like this. And this one is actually being on top of it for some reason, because we have added transform properties around here, which is making it go like that. So what I'll do is, I'll actually add some margin on top, like 50. I guess that's more than enough, and that way we get like this design. We still have to work on adding, like say, spacing and all. So if I go in here, and then let's say add a more spacing, so like 20, or we can basically just make it to like space between two, and it works. So this is how it would look. So instead of having image in the background, we will have image around here. So basically in the background, this background image, we are hiding for tablet and mobile by adding a overlay of white color, and this image we are actually only showing for tablet, and then we will show for mobile like this. So you can see how it looks rather than having the background here. And we actually got this one to work too. We can basically work on changing this stuff to match your look. So the next thing is this section. Pretty easy to do. Again, 2 containers. Let's add 1500 pixels. Let's add a divider. Let's make it this color. Let's add some weight so that it is like thicker. We can reduce the gap if you want to, or add it. Let's make it, let's say, random size for now. And then we can basically just copy paste our heading. Also make sure whenever you copy paste, you select like the right one, H2, H3 and stuff. So your SEO is not missed. I'll add H2 for this too. Let's copy it and then paste it. And you remember how we did it for the top one? That's the same way we add it around here. So I'll basically copy the text from here and then paste it. Features that propel us forward. I'll reduce the size, reduce this one, and then copy this one and then paste around here. So now we got like the same thing. I'll copy paste here. You see, I copied it from my other site, and then it actually added this all other stuff like div class and all, which can be annoying. So what I do is I can copy it in the text section and then go into visual later like this. Or what I can do is, so rather than doing this, I can basically copy it like this and then copy it again and then paste it. So now I will have like, well, I first have to delete this and then copy paste, and you could say it just works. This is pretty easy, this section to make, and I basically did is copied this learn more button and then pasted it around here like this. So we got this ready. If you want this to be smaller, again custom and then make it like smaller like this. And basically this is an image, so just add your image like this, choose it, choose whichever you want, make it like square so that it works perfectly. Sorry, rectangle, so that it works perfectly. So you can see we got our section working just like this. Then we duplicate it, and if you want some spacing on top and bottom, we can again add some spacing, or you could also add margin. So like margin on at the bottom, but I like how it looks right now, so I'll keep it like this. And a quick way to change the direction is basically changing from here like this. And obviously the image is not like big enough to actually cover this size. So there are 2 ways to do it. I'll check how I did it for this one. So I have used image, but you can also use like the container background image around here and then add it, and that way it will actually be the like right size like this. So no matter what size it is, it will always cover like that, but I'll keep it default with like just image for now. This is like the fastest way to do it, by going into row reversed, or you could also basically just select it, go into our navigator, open it and then basically change the direction of container from here to like top like this, and then we got it like this. You can see if you have like nice image, it covers it perfectly. So I'll basically copy this one because this is like nice and big, it covers it. And then basically do the same, just copy and then paste it. Let's go into responsive and then basically do the same thing that we did before. Click on around here, make it go like this rather than left to right, and then make it go 100, and then we can make it go 100. You can see this is what it looks right now. Same with this one. Now we can see that our image is getting on top, so we can basically just change the reverse. So for example, if I do like 100% here and then do it 100% here, it looks like this. So we'll basically select this container and make it go reverse, and that way we'll have everything. And basically just copy and then change the line height, size, same stuff everywhere it is, and then just make it sure that it works for mobile, tablet and all like this. Make it go like align in the center. Select this one, make it centered like this. Make sure this is full for mobile. Percentage and make it 100. I don't know why it switches to pixels if you are choosing like percentage. It's quite annoying. And just do like that, change the values to fit your stuff, and then add the padding and all necessarily. It's like 50-50. Oops. And now we got like this padding like this. And if you want like more spacing, you could do is you could go into gap and then add it for like rows like 50, or you could also choose this one and then add padding on from top like this 20. So multiple ways to do the same stuff again and again. This is how it looks for mobile for the original version. Again, these are presented on templates, so you can always get for templates. You can always download the template, and this is how it looks. So rather than going for the centered version, I have actually made it like this. So rather than going centered, we basically kept it the same. Everything we just kept it same like this. If you want, we can like remove the padding from this one, because by default Elementor adds padding, and this looks like better, right? Let's now add our this section. Pretty easy to add and very quick also. So I'll just choose I'll make this 1500 a container. Let's add some height for time being, so like 500 pixels. This one I'll add another container. Choose the main container, the top one, and then give it a color like this. Now select the inside container and make it white. Choose the main container and to make everything go in center. This one we can make it make it like full width, so that it is completely like this. And basically did the same thing, basically just copy, paste it, make it centered. So I'll copy the text from my original site, paste, businesses that trust us. Same thing, copy paste. And the reason why I do copy paste so much is to keep consistency, because if you keep changing everything because it looks cool, it's not good design. A good design should focus on the user and not like just design. Make it smaller and then do align self, or you could also make, if you do from the container, it just will align everything, But if you just want like one thing to align, then you can do align self like this, and the rest of it would not be affected. Next thing is we will add some. So for this one, I think, yep, I will make this one like smaller like this. So this thing will be smaller. We'll add let's say 200. So this is basically a carousel. So let me just copy the divider, make it centered, make it smaller, and then here we will add a carousel, and then add all our logos. So basically we'll choose all our logos like this, like this, like this, create new gallery, and then insert new gallery. Right now these are not the right images. We'll choose full. We will show how many slides we want to show. So for example, I want to show, let's say, 5 images at once. I'll choose 5, and we can basically just hide everything except dot arrows. So right now we can show arrows like this, and let me add like more images. These are like temporary. I'm adding like random images. So this is how it looks. I'll go into style, make it a bit bigger, make it outside, and then make it like black so that it is visible, you could see. So if I keep it inside, it will be inside these images. I'll make it outside, then make the size be like bigger like this, and we can add like border radius and all, but I'll make this center. And in this one we will add lazy load so that it is like only loading when people scroll around here. It will like speed up your site a bit, and everything else should be normal, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do again is like copy paste this there, because nothing changed. See, everything looks same, just different images, and we have everything like this. And in this one I have selected how much height. We have not selected height, and the way I have done it is go into advanced, and right now we'll basically add like say padding on top left, top and bottom, and always add like padding on left and right a bit. Always do that so that when people change the screen size, there will always be some spacing around here. And one more thing, the difference between padding and margin. For example, right now I did like 100 padding on top and 100 padding on bottom for this one. So if I remove this, let's say I only add 10, this is how it looks. If I only add 10, if I add margin by 100, you can see it actually moved it below it, but it didn't add any like coloring between them. And the way padding and margin works is margin works outside this container and padding works inside this container. Basically you are adding stuff inside, let's say your coat. Let's say if you have clothes made of cotton and you're padding it with cotton, it will make it like bigger, right? That's how padding works, or that's what padding means. And margin is basically adding space outside of it. So if I make it like 100, you could see we are adding inside of it, so the color is also getting bigger and nicer. And again inside of this one we will do the same thing. We will add, I guess, 20 padding on left and right, and then 100, 50 and 50. I guess that's more than enough, right? 50, I think we have done more, so 80. Just play with the values, and let's go into border and then choose some size. So for now 25 looks good. Let's do like 10 only, and then make this a bit bigger like this. Looks good to me. Not the same and perfect, but you just have to play around with values. Everything's going to be same. Let's go into our tablet view. Again same thing, just change everything to match however you want it to be. Change the padding and all. And again same for mobile version too. For mobile version I like to like reduce left and right, and then reduce the top and bottom, because we don't want it to like scroll a lot when you are using a mobile. and everything looks same. You could click on here and then choose slides to show 2, because if it was like 5 it would look like weird, you see. So change this to 2 and everything is same. Next is this section. So this section I actually just copied it from my other template because it worked perfectly here. So I'll just show you still how we make it. So let me just, if you don't see this navigator, click around here, you could see it, and this triple icon. So they are going to change this this like layout and then make it on top. So basically just look for this icon when, if you have like the newer version, or whenever they update it, maybe if they update it. Basically do the same thing. We will copy and paste our top one like this, adds let's say 100 padding and 20 on, so 100 20 100 like this. Your success story next, so let's copy that. And there's one difference, you can see that we actually have an underline here, and that's pretty easy to do. We actually select and just type, you see this U, and then we can just close it by using closing bracket like this. So basically we just typed U and then U, so anything between this would be underlined. You could also make like bold like this for bold. You could do italics like this. There's also strike through, so if you do like strike I believe, let's check it out. Yep, you could also make it strike and then just close it. And we are just going to, you know, copy paste the font weight that we have done. So you could see I've just done the same thing, font style, then the U success, and then font closed here, and that basically does it. Make sure you add it inside the font colors, the underline, and not outside this stuff, because sometimes it would create like extra space around this. Next, again copy paste. We are just doing copy paste again and again like this. Let's copy the text. Next we will add is our testimonial, and the way I have done is I have actually used testimonial widget, and there are multiple ways to do it. You could also make everything in containers. So like instead of doing like testimonial widget, you could basically use like 6 containers, but for this one we will do with testimonial. So let's add one big container, and let's add the testimonial widget like this. Make sure this is set to full width. So this is set to full width, and so the background color is, I believe, nope, this is normal color. What we need to do is, here we will make it, this section we will make it hint. So every paragraph we have actually used hint, and every heading we have used monster rat. So we could say hint. This is where we choose image, this is where we choose content. I'll choose random one for now. Choose the name. Around here we will choose the title or like business of what they work at, like DMmotionarts company or something like this or something. You can also add link, and then there's like multiple options, so like top or a side. We can go into styles and then choose the image to be, let's say, square. Let's add different image so that you can see. Let's add like this food image and then image, if I do 0 it turns into like this stuff. If I do like 5 it turns into this stuff. And we can make it like bigger, smaller. Name color, so this one we can make like monster rat, make it like 16, make it border bold, and then the title or company name. Basically this is we can make like, again choose your color and all, everything's like normally done. So the one thing we need to do next is, in this one we actually want to have some padding, and for that I'll select this one and add some color to like show you what I'm doing. So I'm basically adding a padding of 20 pixels like this, and there are two ways to do it right now. So if I, let's say, duplicate and then I duplicate and then choose this one and make it go horizontal, we will have 3, and then we basically duplicate this container, and this is a faster way to do it. But let's say if I want to have, let's say this one should only have like 2 and stuff. So right now it does look okay, but if I, let's say, wanted to have like this one be bigger, so by this one should be like half size and this one should be half size, and this is how it would look basically. So if I do is make this 50% and then make this 50%, enable the wrap. So this is how it would look, and if I just paste style like this, the issue is we cannot make this go around here. So if we wanted to have it like this by 2 by 2, because again, even if it's tablet, it's going to be hard to read if we keep like 3 like this, and it would look like not good. So it's good to have like 2 by 2 for tablet, but if we make it by this method, we cannot add this one here. So here's what we are going to do instead. So we will go into our main container, make sure wrap is on so that it is actually doing stuff like this, and here we will select our custom sizing, so 33. So let's copy and paste style, and you could say it is not working because I already showed you that because we have gap around here, it is not going to show. But again, there's like no spacing around here. So what I'm going to do is instead add, let's say, reduce the size of this one to 32, something like this, and then paste style and then paste style, and then make this be like centered in the middle like this. If you want to do perfectly, you could do 32.3. It also depends on like what pixel size you have chosen for gap. Okay, 32.3 does not work, so let's keep it just like that. You could also keep like space between so that it is like nicely spaced, and it also depends on the pixels. So one thing I forgot to do is we actually didn't make it like 1500 pixels, so that it is now like this. Now it's like spreading a bit, and I think I didn't choose like 1500, never mind, I have chosen 1500, and inside this I've chosen 1350. So the inside container I have chosen it to be 1350 pixels, so 1350. You just play around with values to find it. I don't have like specific values, just play around and you will know. So let's add some padding. So I'll add like 30 at bottom and 30 on top like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to add is a border of, let's say, 10 pixels so that we have some border radius like this. And I'm going to add some shadow, and in this background one I'm just going to remove it. For some reason it is not changing. Okay, there we go. So right now this is how it looks, and we will go into our border and then make it like very subtle. So we will make the black color to be like very subtle. Basically we are making the shadow be, so here we are actually making the shadow transparent a lot, so it is like very subtle. And then in the border we can actually add like 1 pixels of border and then make it like not so prominent like this. And that is how we actually make the stuff that I've made. Make sure this is like white in color like this. So this is how I've actually made this section too. You just have to like play around with values to find like the perfect combination. Like this. And basically you just need to do is delete the next ones and then duplicate, 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 and you can see it is actually not working perfectly fine with this one. So let's try. Well, I'm pretty much sure it would not work with every single one like this. So we need to just make it like go center and then have, let's say, like this pattern, or keep it like this to have it be from start. And then if you don't want to have, let's say, random space around here, you could always make it grow like this. And what it does is, when you enable grow, if there is any empty space left, it would try to like spread it. So if we like just enable grow for everything like this, it will try to spread for empty space. So this one would give like nice examples. If I make this grow, you would see that it actually tried to like fit it like this. And this is how you can make like bento grid box, or I actually have a video on how you can make like bento grid, but that's like one of the way to do it, to actually make sure this is like fitting. And it's same, we just made it. So right now we just basically made this to be like 48% around here, everything's 48%. And in the mobile one, we actually can just make it like 100% like this. Next is adding this section, so this design. So basically what this is, an icon, and I'll copy it for now to showcase what I've done. So let's remove everything. So basically what I've done is I actually added icon like this, and then here I chose like upload SVG, and then choose an SVG. If you don't have SVG, you can use your image to a PNG image right here. SVG is only feature for like Elementor Pro. So if you buy Elementor Pro, use my link. But you could always use like image too, just like how we added image, and then create a PNG for it. And basically this is just how it would look. Everything would be same, nothing difference. The only difference is with SVG, I can actually choose the color, which one I want. But if you make, let's say, a PNG image, you will have to edit it in that image. And you could choose like size and all around here. Same with image too. So nothing's going to be difference. And what we are going to do is, you can place it anywhere inside this container. You don't have to place it inside this one, but actually in the main container. Because let's say I add it in, well, let me first show you what we are doing here. So let's say we added it in the main container, go to app position and then click absolute. And what it does is, it basically moves it to the top left of your container. So you could see we have selected top left and then top and then left. If I make it to right, it will go to right. If we make it to bottom, it will go to the bottom of that container. If I make this empty, and if this was set to, let's say, in center, it would make it go to center. If it was set to like center like this, and if I choose and make this like empty, it would have gone to the center. For this one, we actually want around left side. And that's all you have to do for this thing. And you could also move it wherever you want, but it's not going to be like super responsive. So just keep it like at the end like this, 0 0, and make sure the z index is 0, because we want it to be below everything. So I'll just choose this container and make the z index 1. And basically what z index is whichever has the higher value would be top of the second stuff. So let's say if we had like, if I move it below this, you can see it is below this. But if the z index was like 2, it would be above it, because we have given this containers one z index and this one 2. So let's just make it 0 and then make it 0 0. Let's duplicate it, and then in this one we will make it go at the bottom like this. And the reason why I said to add it in the main container is, if I copy it and then duplicate it in this container, copy it and paste it in this container, it will use this container to the top left and all. So you could see it is now using 00, but it is actually using this container. So make sure you add it in the bigger container, and basically we just duplicate, and then we got this section ready. Next is our contact form. So again we create 2 by 2, and a faster way to do it is basically copy it from here. You know, we need to work like smarter and not like harder. Let's add a padding on top, padding at bottom, left and right. Let's type feel free to message us. Again we will copy this stuff. Then I'll delete this one. And I'm planning to add this contact section as like single section. I mean single template, so that a block template, so that you don't have to install like this whole landing page. So I think if I have it, I'll add it in link. But if I don't, just you could also always download this and add it, and then just copy paste it so that you don't have to start from scratch every time. So what we are going to do is we're actually going to add an icon box below it, and here we will type email, and our second stuff will be around here. So your email at gmail.com or whatever it is. Here we will add our icon, so envelope like this, and in this one we can choose like any tag with based off your what you call. This is for like SEO purposes, and we have selected none. And instead of having the icon position on top right, we will make it left. We will make it be at the center. We will make the icon size to be, I guess, 16 pixels. Actually this is spacing, so let's make it good. We'll keep the icon like this, it works nicely. In the content section we will actually just work on it till we'll get like the right style. One more thing is, rather than doing this one, rather than doing center, we will actually do top, because that works better. So if I like say move like this, it will actually be better. It would be on top at least. Let's choose this way, rather than everything's same. Everything's perfect right now. Okay, so let's add a padding of 20. Let's add a border. So if we go in here, we can add a border of 1 pixel. We will use again this color. So now we have a border around there. We actually will add, let's say, 5 pixels of border radius. Then we will add a box shadow, and in this one we will actually, well, we will not add a box shadow. We will add the box shadow on hover in only. So let's select this one and then add our color like this. So when we hover on it, you can see the effect. And the thing is, we actually want it to be very subtle, so we don't want it to be like so prominent. So we get this nice glowing effect. You can always adjust it to make it like perfect. Here we will choose the icon color to be same as our border color or everything that we have made. And right now we will actually choose sizing because if you see, if you make it like default, it actually adds like weird spacing around here. So we'll choose like a sizing. Let's do like 55. Why not? In the box one, sorry, in the content one, we will make our this section to be black. We will add our monster rat like this. We don't want a line height like this, so let's just remove it. Like weird spacing around here. I think that's just because it's Elementor. It's quite annoying when they do that. It's not that visible, so it's okay. Make this black and then add our hint and all like this. And then we got our effect ready, same way as we have done this one. The only difference is in that one we actually have this one as like, I guess, 40%, and then this one being like 60%. Never mind, we actually have it 50-50. It just looks bigger, so let's just keep it like that. And we actually need to add a padding on the right side so that there's like nice spacing. I'll add like 20 on left, 50 on bottom, 50 on top, so that it looks like nicer. Or make it 0 on top, because we have already adding padding around here. And then basically we duplicate this stuff, change the icon, change the color, so that we have like this icons and color. One more thing is, if you want people to be able to like copy link, for example, if I go here, if I click here, we can actually copy mail address, or if you want, we can actually, if I click this one, then it will just open like, if you want to like pick that app or stuff like that. If you want to do that, all you need to do is, for the email, we type like this. So we type mail to, and then we add this, and then we add our email on front, and we add it in description like this. Well, we also need to add is, if you go into here, we actually also need to add ahref, because I totally forgot. So ahref is basically adding link. So if I do this, ahref comma equal to double quotation, and then type this one inside this and this one. This is basically HTML tag to add a link to any text, and then we will close it. And what we will do is, we will actually add our text inside here. And what it does is, so what this HTML tag does is it will show this text. So if we add, let's say, contact, it will show this text, whatever you show around here, and it adds this link to this text. So if we had any other link around here rather than mail to, if we had like google.com around here, it will basically just add a link to this one. So that's like one way to do it. And right now this one has that link. And basically for telephone, we do the same stuff, but instead we just type TEL, and then we type our number, and then basically we do the same. You can type anything here and it will show that text, but the link would be inside of this one. So if I go around here, you could see we have added tel, and then that number, and then everything here. So when we call, it will just add that pop-up. Then we have address option. So right now I'm just going to do is copy and paste, and you can see the sizing and all I have chosen differently around here. I have made it like this. Just make sure to do whichever works for you perfectly. Also, if I go into this section, or before that, let's just duplicate and duplicate. Let's create our right section, and in this one we will actually do is add, so we have added this text. So we can basically duplicate and move it around here, copy it, paste it here. And what we are going to do is, we will actually select this one, and then add a gradient. We will add this color, like this color, and then add like random color around here to just check, and then make it like transparent. So this is how it looks. We will make it like 90, so it is like 90°. And then here we can actually just make a gradient, but if I make this to like 0 and then do the stuff like this, we can actually create like a nice cutout. So basically I'll just make it 50, or we can make 55 or 45, 50, 49, stuff like that. There are multiple ways to do it. This is one of the way to do it. Make it smaller, and then basically we will add our form. Again, form we can only add with Elementor Pro. So if you want to buy that, you got to use my link. And if you want to use the freer version for form, you will need to install, let's say, Contact Form 7 or WP Form, which is like different plugin. And to customize it, you will need to install like premium add-on or something, or essential add-on. And what this does is basically it allows you to customize Contact Form 7 or WP Form, which you cannot customize by default. You can use premium add-ons for Elementor, that's like one plugin, or you could use essential add-on for Elementor. All links are in description, so check it out. And it's basically, we are going to select this one, this form, remove the label. So the button size is basically, we are actually going to make the button like 25%, make it left align, go into style, and then I'll add some more cap. Let's say if you want to like change the name to like double text, so what we can do is we can actually call this like first name, like this, make it 50%. Let's duplicate it and then call it last name, and then we got like 50%. We can also make it like 30% and stuff, make it required, and that's how we get a form around here. Basically add an option for subject phone number. Basically go into here and click tell, and then we can type phone number, move this above, make it have like bigger this section, and we actually got the form ready. You can see how it looks. And what we need to do is, I think because we have added padding around here for some reason, I don't know why I added padding there, it looked weird, but this is how it looks right now. And you just have to play with values to make sure everything looks perfect. So I'll do like 50 50. Make sure this is aligned at the center rather than at top, like this, and it looks nicer. You could add the form, select the form, and choose like what you need to do. You want to send it to which email. So action after submit, collect submission, or email it, and then where you want to send it, just the email around here. Let's go into the button. Let's make it the way we want it to be. So 30 30, 5 pixels of padding, make this like 15 15, 35 35, stuff like that, 50 or 50, whichever design that you like. And then basically we will go again into our tablet mode, and what we will do is we will make it go top to bottom, make this go 100%, then choose this one and then make it go 100%, like this. Now we do have an issue, that is the background color, which is like this, looks ugly. So we can do is again, we can just add a white color on top of it and then make the opacity full. Or if you just made this, rather than making it around here, if you just make it around here, we could just change the color for, we can just change the opposite opacity rather than adding extra layer of this. But again, it just comes down to your preference, the way you want to do it. Here we need to make it 0 for the PC. Let's first work on tablet, and what we will do is we will select this one. Why is it going up? Okay, we will select this one, and then we will make it have this color of background. And right now you can see that there is like spacing around here. So what we can do is we can select the main container and remove the spacing completely for the left and right, and then make sure the top and bottom is there. And we can choose the inside containers to add the spacing for the left and right. So there's already some spacing done. So if I just worked for like 20 and then do like, or maybe just do like 10 10 20 and then 20, that works too. And again choose this one and then add the padding of however you want it to be, like this, and it will look good. You just have to play with values till you find like the right combination for your stuff to work. And basically you just have to like make sure you have like selected it perfectly for every single one, because usually this would not be shown like this, it would be like on top and left. So make sure icon and alignment are selected perfectly for every single one. So rather than like this, it would be you have to select it for every single one. And here we will actually reduce the padding to like 10. We will reduce the size of this one to stuff like this, reduce the height of this one. We can basically add, not around here but in the tablet, in the container, we can add more padding on top and more padding at the bottom, and we got this form ready. And for this one we just have to make sure that this is set to like 100 and do it for everything. Everything's like same, you just have to like change the what you call text for every single one. That's like same thing, which is why I'm not going again and again in detail. And the last one is creating this footer, which is quite easy to do. So we basically create is this section like this, make it 1500. Then we do is we add another 2 containers, make it full width, and then duplicate it. Now there are 2 ways to do it again. One is, so let me show like the first one. So for basically, if you just create one container, make it 1500 pixel, and then add the menu like this. You can do is you can create 2 different menus. So one we can select here and then duplicate, and this one we can just like create choose the second menu. And in this one we basically select left, like this, left row alignment, and then make it go space between. And that way we have like this 2 icons around here, or 2 stuff around here. And basically this is, for example, we don't want this to happen, right? So basically we just add none to this one. So like none, and then let's try, if I do paste style, what would happen? Like this. And we will basically change it to be like this, and then play with our font to make sure it works perfectly, change the spacing and all. Which one is the spacing? Okay, this one. I think for this one we have to do for this one like this, whichever size it works. Copy and paste style, and this is one way to do it basically, but I'll show you other one too in case you don't have Elementor Pro. So we did add one container and then added 2, make it go from left to right like this. And I have basically added is icon list in here, and you could see I've also added like second container. with this stuff. So like 2 containers with the same icon list. This is only if you don't have Elementor Pro, but if you have Elementor Pro, do the first step that I've shown, and we will basically remove everything and then type manually like home, and then we will type the link in here, whichever page you want. So if you want home, just copy and paste like this, duplicate, and then change it to your products, license on stuff, whatever you want, like about, and then let's do like contact or something, like contact us, something like this, and we'll make it go in line like this. So we will change the space between, we'll make the text black, and then choose our font that we have chosen. Let's do like 16, make it bold, and let's make it like bigger. And basically that's what we have done around here. Let's make sure we have like nice padding on top. So let's do like 100, and then like 10, or let's do 20 at the left and right, and then I guess 20 at the bottom. One thing we need to do is click on this one and make it go at the end, and let's do is copy paste it in here and make it go at the end like this. And we will basically just change the name around here. Obviously make sure it looks good with like space between, like this. So we got this styling ready, and what we need to do is we need to select this one, go into border, go into solid, click here and add a small border like this. Right now it's not visible because we don't have any padding around there. So let me do is, let me like duplicate this one. You could see we have that line which is around there, but again it does not look good because we want only to be this much. Let's remove it, and let me check what I did because I don't remember. So basically I just did is, inside this one I added another container like this. Well, not inside everything. Basically I added a container inside this one. Let's see what happens. It is adding inside it. We don't want it to be inside. Okay, there we go. And then I added the rest of the stuff inside this like this. So basically we have one main container, inside that we have one small container, and then make it go left like this. Then inside that we have 2 containers which should be outside this one. So like this, and then we can do a space between. So click on this one and do space between. It's not doing space between because we need to make it full width, and then do space between. Also this one was like at the right side. There we go, it works. And then if I select this one and add the border to this one like this, solid one, and then add our border color, you can see we actually have a border added. The next thing is copyright and then social icons. So I will do is duplicate it, and basically I would do is I would delete the main container like this, and then add a text editor, and then I'll add a social icon stuff like this, and again do the space between. and here we will basically just type our text, and choose the colors and all accordingly. I'm not going to go in detail because again it's very obvious what you need to do. Just change the text and everything. And right now what we need to do is we can add like our items. So let's say if I want to add Instagram, I will type Instagram and then add our link around here. If you want it to be square, if you want to be circle, we can do that. And if you can also like change it with this too if you want to. And we will do custom color. So basically we want the background to be empty and then this one to be having a color which is our color, like this. And then we could add is on hover, we can add, let's say, a animation of, let's say, grow or shrink. So we can do shrink or grow or whichever animation that you like. Right now you can see it looks weird because there's like white color, so we can actually make the primary color to be transparent, and now it looks good and then works the way we want to. Let's make it responsive. So if we go into tablet mode, you can see that there's an issue that we cannot actually change it to this one because there is no icon of responsiveness. So what we can do is we can basically just duplicate like the whole main container. Let's do it like this, and this one we will actually just, so let's go into responsive, and then this one should be hidden on desktop and this one should be hidden on tablet and mobile. So basically we are doing is this one should only be visible on desktop, so this one should only be visible on desktop like this, we can see. And the next one, which are like the copy of it, should be visible on tablet and mobile. And again, if you do it with like Elementor Pro with the WordPress menu, it just works faster. So this one which we have selected as, well, why is it not showing? Well, the hidden item should not be like stuff like that, so I'm not sure why it's not showing around here. Basically we can see both here, but when we go on tablet, for some reason it is hiding around here. It should not hide, because if I just make it like this, you can see it. So I think I have changed some settings, which is why it's not showing here. But what we will basically be doing is we will select this one. So please select. This sometimes it bugs like this and it's annoying when it works like this, the Elementor Pro. So in this container we actually have icon list, and this icon list we will make it have this layout like this. For time being, I'll just not hide it on anything so that we can see it actually. So yeah, right now we can actually see everywhere. And basically we will do is we will change the space between to match however we want. We can make it in center and all. And also in this one we actually need to make it go from top to bottom rather than left to right. So we will make this one go top to bottom like this, and then this one would be like this. And on the left side, so we can choose if we want to have it in center or left. I'll keep it as left like this. I'll just copy and paste style, and that way we can add these icons like this. And then again, this one looks normal to me, but if you want to, you can always change it to have like this and make it all center. Obviously play with some spacing and all to make sure everything works nicely. So like everything works nicely. Let's go to mobile version, and then you see it is already done. Same thing for everything, just changing the values and nothing crazy. You can make it go aligned like this. And right now the issue is it is now showing for this one too. So all we need to do is basically click on this one and make it responsive. It should only show for tablet and mobile, so we will hide this. And now this is how it looks. So for tablet, this is how it looks. And then for mobile, this is how it looks. Obviously play with some values so that it is looking nicer. Also make it in center and all if you want to, because I think it would look better in center, but that's up to you. And if you use like WordPress menu, then it just reduces the work, because if you want to add something in here, you will also need to add it here and then change the link and all. So I think that's all. I don't think anything's left right now. Everything's like perfect. You need to obviously play with values and all. This section, it's not perfect. And if we go in our section like this, we have made it like 100%. So nothing crazy, just click on this stuff, make it go down, make this go like 100% like this, and then just copy paste style like this. So we can basically copy and then paste style and make this 100, and then do copy paste style for this one, and it will work. I'm not seeing anything that's like left. Let's quickly glance through. Quickly. We can obviously reduce this space to make it like look even better. So rather than 2020, we can do like 10, and then it would look like better, because in mobile the spacing looks like too much. So we can obviously reduce it, have it however we want, and just make sure everything like you just copy paste style, and then it works. So yeah, that's how you can create this landing page. Obviously if you want to, you can just download it, and again, not just this one but like other ones too, like so many stuff. And if you want to get the Elementor Pro, use my links, and that way you could support me. And thank you. If you watched till end, please consider subscribing and liking. And yeah, thank you.